speech sessions. So the first startup that I want to invite on the stage, BitTrip from the Russian Federation. Please welcome.
Hello, my name is Maria and I'm presenting BitTrip. Once we had a trip from Paris to Milan, and somewhere in the Alps we lost our internet connection and our navigation app stopped working. We had to turn from highway and by trying to find the right road, we saw a lot of beautiful places. We saw lakes, mountains, rivers, and it was amazing. You know, we will never see those places if we just use the navigation app. And that's a problem. Usual navigation applications do not show beautiful places to the users, while applications for finding those places never work as navigators. And we want to change it. We built a smart navigation application which uses geotag data from social networks such as Kontakte, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and uses it to build beautiful roads and make a road through them. We consider navigation market as our target market. As you can see, the growth rate of this market is 12% per year. First, we want to start from local market. It is, for example, Tatarstan market, and then continue growing. As our competitors, we see applications that provide navigation functionality and find interesting places. As you can see, none of these applications combine these functionalities as we do. For now, we have an MVP. We have started building mobile applications and platform for analysis. As a monetization strategies, we have 4 ways. We want to have a paid subscription, which allows users to make many roads with many points without advertisement. And we have advertisement itself in free version. Then we want to sell roads to travel agencies and access to API. Here's our investment proposal. We want $30,000. We want to spend them for marketing. We want to spend them for salaries to our team and for computation powers. Here is our contacts. Thank you for your attention. We welcome your suggestions and proposals.
Thank you very much. So, questions? Okay. Can I just pass the mic?
Thank you. And my first question, what is a key feature of your project?
Well, the feature is analysis. We analyze data from social networks so we can extract data about time, weather, seasons. We extract pictures and geodata so we know if this place is interesting in summer, in winter, in summertime. We can make a road through, if you're traveling in the morning, we will find a road with a good place where you can see sunrise. You travel in the evening, we will find a place where you can see sunset.
Thank you. There is another question.
Thank you. I think 2 questions. First question is about your revenue model, and the second question is about the algorithm you're talking about, in the sense that this is something that has sort of been done before. There are a couple of apps on the internet that allow you to choose routes based on the most beautiful route. So it's not necessarily a very new thing. So the first one I think came up maybe 4 years ago. So the question is, do you know about these competitors because you didn't list them here? And if yes, how do you hope to differentiate yourself from those competitors?
Can you repeat the last part?
The last part was there are competitors that are in the same market, doing the same thing, also allowing you to choose the most scenic route. The question is, do you know about these competitors because you didn't show them here? And if yes, how do you expect to differentiate yourself from them?
Okay. Well, yeah, we know about competitors, and most of the competitors, they use pre-built roads. They do not analyze data and do not automatically choose roads. So sometimes they have outdated data. If some place was interesting previous year, it could not be interesting this year, for example.
So thank you. Amira, can we have the mic?
I will add a question to the last person who asked you. So the main difference is how frequently you can update data. Only that difference between you and that services.
Okay, we will.
So you say that they have outdated information about places of interest, and you have very actual information. So it's the main difference between you and your competitors.
Oh, sure. We analyze data posts from networks. So if there is no more posts about some place, we think that it's not interesting anymore.
I understand. One more time. Is the main difference between you and your competitors is that you have more actual data than them?
Yeah, it's more actual, and we do automatic search for routes. So if a new route appears, we can.
And where from you get that updated data on the roads? From Google or Yandex, for example, in Russia?
About roads, we are running on top of Google. And about places, we find it from social networks and geotags from social networks.
So Google gives this information to everyone. If you pay for this information, for example, yes? It's not your information. For me, if I will make this service the same as yours, I will pay Google and get this updated information about roads. What is your main defense against your rivals? So you can win over them. How you will protect yourself, your project, from being repeated in the short term?
Well, they can be repeated, of course, but we've done a lot for our algorithms, and it's hard.
So you have intellectual property inside of your project?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So time for voting. So can I ask you to take the remote? Can we have, yeah, thanks. So are you ready to invest? Number 1, I'm not investing. Number 2, I may invest in the future. And number 3, I'm investing. They're not working. Okay, so the results are basically that some of the people may invest in the future. Almost there was the same percentage of the people who may invest in the future and the people who are investing, actually, 20 people in this whole 21. Okay, thank you very much. So the next startup, Startup Afghanistan. Please welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Muzammil. I'm from Afghanistan. I've been living for the last 4 years in Berlin, one of the biggest tech and startup hubs. 1 year ago, my father started a non-profit project in Afghanistan, which is a typical way of donating and doing things. And his reason was that his friend was jobless. So that made me think that I have a good passion for entrepreneurship, and on the other side, I care about impact. what I can do for the country that I belong from. We come up with an idea to grow people in companies to make the livelihood of people in Afghanistan better. How we do that? By looking at the numbers. I come to know that 40% of the working population in Afghanistan is unemployed. That makes 12 million people jobless in Afghanistan. And if we look, 20% of the people are busy in regular jobs and 64% are busy in doing one sole proprietorship. But on the other hand, if we look, we have imports of only 570 million. On the other hand, we have exports and imports of 7.5 billions. If we change that only by 10%, we can increase the economy tremendously. These are the key areas where we can bring improvements. How we do that? We do it with our business incubator. So we combine online and offline incubator together to get and start the best companies that can grow in Afghanistan. The funnel is that you come to an online incubator, we take up to 100 incubators. Out of that, we take 15 best into the offline incubator, and we get 3 companies worth 100K USD. This is the offline incubator. Beside this, we have a co-working space that's already running, and we also provide blueprints to other providers. So we make money by selling or designing co-working spaces for other companies. This is an image from our co-working space in Kabul. We also do a lot of events, which we are doing now. Today, a startup weekend is happening in Kabul right now. You can see the pictures I just got downloaded from Facebook. And beside this, as we believe in growing people as well, we have an institute where we are making money as well as training people who will be working our startups. We have partnered with some of the best content provider and strategic partners like Cisco, Digital Career Institute, and Hinge Business School. This is our vision. When we build the whole ecosystem, we would look like this. Our rollout is we're starting in Kabul with the most population, and next we go to other cities when we have a product market fit. This is our team and experts and mentors and partners. What we are looking for is sponsors for the summit that we are organizing and investors for the next intake of the startups.
Thank you so much. Questions from our selection committee, participants, guests, maybe some comments? Mm-hmm.
When we were talking with you some days ago, you say that you have 2 plans, yes? Plan A and Plan B. And Plan B was when you integrate your platform into university. Is that plan here?
This plan is that if we go on our own, we go with investors.
You go on your own.
So if we go on our own, we need investors. If we go with a partner, then we don't need investors.
So if you go on your own, I have a question how you will survive first several years. And it's more about sponsorship, not about investments, I think. Because as we know, the projects from the early stage to the stage when you can get some investments back with some multiplier, it's a rather long way. So yes. How you will survive?
Yeah, so there are 2 ways of survival. Like the traditional way of business survival in Afghanistan is having recurring revenue models for the companies. So the companies that we would be incubating would be mostly profitable from day one. So we don't need an exit strategy to win for an IPO, which would not happen because we don't have a stock exchange in Afghanistan. Or there is no way that Amazon or Google will acquire a startup from Afghanistan. You never know, but so the model would be to incubate those companies that can generate revenues from the really early stage.
And if I get to ask you last time, do you have some local, rather big corporations or companies, maybe, for example, in agriculture, who can benefit from your work and maybe can make some fund inside your incubator so you can support your actions and support your projects? Maybe it's a story about local business, but I mean rather big local business.
Yeah, so as we look at the imports that we do, the biggest part is also agriculture part. And on the other hand, the export part is also. So we will be looking at that. So far, there aren't companies that are producing things. But on the other hand, the biggest employers in Afghanistan are telecommunication companies. So that's where we do the institute where we can teach or train people into tech jobs, and they can do sponsorships of the people that we train. This is definitely a good market that we are looking into as well.
Thank you so much. So time for voting. Can we just have the results? Okay. That was 50.
Yeah, I was also excited when
yeah.
I saw it.
So, 44% I'm investing, 36% I may invest in the future, and 9 people said that I wouldn't invest in your project. But the green color is the biggest one. Thank you. So the next project, the next startup is from Kazan Fixed Risk. Please welcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to present project Fixed Risk. My name is Arat Kadyrov from Kazan. I am a professional financist with 20 years experience in corporate finance and project financing. As you know, high volatility on financial market leads to significant change in exchange rates. The greatest impact have on exporters, importers of goods and services and business. Small and medium business to lose profits due to fluctuation and currency risk. On Russian finance market and many other emerging markets, absent easy and simple service for hedging protection currency risk. Bank and brokers made this operation very expensive and often get risk themselves. We simplify and make easy hedging operation for clients. This is now finance service of hedging. We choose market position with size of small and middle volume of protection. Russian expert center estimate potential market on $2 billion. It's example of real deal. All clients was participate changer, and rate of euro rise to 20%, and clients save $90,000 or euros with use of service. This is a project stage of all project, and in last year, project was chosen in corporate acceleration of Moscow change. We get good expertise and grants. Now we begin pilot integration with federal brokers. In this year, we're planning develop product and promotion on target market and research market on other countries. Size of investments in this year are $100,000. Your team, all team consists from 4 professional specialists, and we're ready for cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So there is a question from Adini.
All right, I'm not a financial expert, but all the same I have a question because I like money. I think first question is this. You talk about emerging markets. Volatility actually is higher in some other markets. So what is your sort of like global market strategy? So say for example, Nigeria has a more volatile currency exchange market than say Russia. And at the same time, it's a very growing economy. So the question is, what is your global outlook? Where do you see the company in like 4 or 5 years? And I think the second question, I'm not sure whether or not I understood this from the presentation. Are there any sort of legal roadblocks or regulations that you have to actually, overcome, even in Russia? I just don't know how that works. So anyways, if you could clarify those. Thank you.
It's a good question. Short answer is we must partner or project on these emerging markets. If you have independent currency and stock exchange in this country. What? Regulation. Regulation in a different country is different, are different. In Russia, we don't problem. All partners, Moscow Stock Exchange, and we go MVP, and we pilot integration summer.
Thank you. Any more questions? No questions, then I'm going to ask you to take the remotes and do the procedure that we got used to. So yeah, thank you. Let's see. 47% that would invest in your startup and 37% that no.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the next startup that I'm pleased to welcome on stage is also from Kazan, and it's Into 24. Please welcome.
Hi all, I'm Nikita. I'm from Innopolis University actually. I'm a co-founder of Intour 24, a mobile application that provides electronic tickets for regular bus excursions. I believe that many of you travel a lot, been on vacation in a new and familiar place. We usually want to get acquainted with the sites. For this purpose, there are interesting bus excursions offered by regional tour operators on a schedule. The goal of any operator is to fill up the bus with tourists as much as possible. So the tickets are sold through travel agencies and online. And we aim to be the major sales channels for tour operators. We are a marketplace that aggregates electronic tickets for regular bus excursions by competing operators directly on your mobile phone. For tourists, it is a sightseeing shop in the pocket. For operators, the major sales channel, and for us, it is commission. The unique feature of our service is an automated control of the route and the excursion schedule, which directly affects the rating of the operator. In this way, we raise the quality and the standards of the customer service. So to sum up, we are not a mobile guide as TripAdvisor, not a booking service for individual excursions, and not an online store of a single tour operator. We provide the client with a real choice of timetable and price, full control of the route, and management tool for a tour operator. Our first goal is the domestic tourism in Russia. For example, in 2016, the domestic tourism in the resorts of the Black Sea was estimated 14 million people. 5% of tourists spend at least $20 for one trip. Hence, the volume of the target market is $2 million. Given that we have 10% of the market and take 15% of commission, we will gain $200,000 per season. This is the Russian market, but the real market is in scale and in global. We have the following plans for this year. Finish the work on the product, because we already tested the MVP. Then form a network of partners from regional tour operators in popular tourist areas, and to grow for international markets. The estimated investment in total is $150K. We are from Innopolis University, and they have enough experience to succeed in this project. And this is the vision of the project we strive for. Thank you.
Thank you. So, questions or comments? Yeah, there is one from Adeni.
Sorry for being that guy in the room. Okay. 2 questions. First question is, what makes this unique? Why can't any other person do it? And especially people who are already big in the market, say TripAdvisor or somebody else. Second question is, what is your go-to-market strategy? So you mentioned a little bit about what you want to do in Russia, but very little. You only mentioned about the target markets globally, but how are you going to do that? What's your go-to-market strategy? Thank you.
Talking about our market strategy in Russia, for now we want to test product in the Republic of Tatarstan and then go to the Black Sea, to the resorts of the Black Sea. There are different ways of promoting our product. And for example, one of them is to install the application with a tour agent. So you go to the touristic agency, and the tour agent helps you to install our application and then order an excursion later. Talking about the TripAdvisor and other services that can copy us, I don't know why they didn't do that yet. Because the market is quite big.
So the question is, when they do it, how would you actually protect your own market share? When they do it, because they can do it at scale, and you cannot. They can do it and implement this all over the world, one time, just like that. And then, the whole thing's gone. So that's the question. How do you protect your market share when they do that?
I don't think that they can do it like that, because they should work with the tour operators as well. But for exit strategy for investor is a good strategy.
So I don't know, sorry for being
For a conversation.
Take the mic, please.
yeah, but so if you think about it, for example, I don't know if you've gone around Kazan, you see TripAdvisor stickers on restaurants. So literally, TripAdvisor doesn't even need to do it. Those bus agencies would go to TripAdvisor themselves if they want to increase their conversion rate. Very simple. So they don't necessarily need to beg the bus agencies to come and join if they were doing something like this. The bus agencies will come themselves. So the question is, when TripAdvisor or somebody like that does something like this, how are you going to protect your market share?
Hard question.
Okay, it is a great question. Thank you for. We will think it over. Thanks.
Thank you. So thank you very much. And yeah, why wouldn't we applaud? So as for the voting procedures, so the results. They're kind of, okay. So some people are investing, that's 38% that's going to invest in the project, and 36% who wouldn't invest. So thank you so much. You got the feedback from the audience. And as for the next startup, Shade Spare Parts from Yemen. Please welcome. So you have 3 minutes, the mic and the clicker.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. I'm named Nawaf. I'm from Yemen. I work as a software engineer in Arabian Yemen cement company. But I have my business. It's called HHD for Solution. HHD is Hadramaut for Solution. We have a problem we've seen often with the companies that maintain capital goods such as a power plant, aircraft, cement companies often face the high cost of spare parts it's holding in story rented, and expire date for that is material is stored. Also, that face higher scrap and waste, and afraid about delivery of items. Our solution is a shared spare parts system. This is SSB is a platform help on sharing the common spare part between multi companies, so we can service companies which work in the same region and with the product same product, so that spare parts will be similar. So if that companies is gathered in one place, their spare parts and share it, so we can minimize the cost of holding that spare parts. Also, that system, that companies work with that platform, their production line will be suitable more than others. This is our project overview. We start our project since 2016, but the situation of Yemen, we suspend our project, and me is here for looking if there is any investor to improve our project. This is my team. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Thank you. What make difference, your business model difference from any good spare goods provider that analyze current market in the region, understand customers, and use that for make optimal logistics, optimal store, etc. What it makes different? So you tell me a good market strategy for any shop.
Our strategy is B2B. We're going to collect information about spare parts in companies in one platform. So if that companies want to share the information about their spare part, so it will be easy if the other one is have problem in production line, so it can request or make order to take that part.
You take only information about current storage in every company that can become your client, or you get any other information, for example, how they often repair one another mechanism, how often you need some other things for the current work?
Our project, as I told you, it is under process, but we suspend. So we didn't make study for future. If we're staying in that break of our situation, so that is the fail of project.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. And the second question and the last one.
Hi, thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
Can you give me 3 concrete examples of industries that your system will operate in? Can you give me 3 examples of industries that your system will operate in?
For example, cement companies, aircraft companies, power plant companies. We know that cement companies have similar machines. You know?
Yeah.
Similar machines. If one company's their production line interrupted and they didn't hold that spare part for their machines, and they can take it from our platform if there are other companies is registered in our platform.
And I'm not clear what you want from investors either.
I don't understand.
Could you hold the microphone?
I'm not clear what you want from investors either. What is your proposition? What are you asking for money? Are you asking for
yes, not money only.
Okay.
We want to, if there is someone outside of Yemen going to adapt this project, it will be good.
Seems ambitious, but thank you.
Thank you so much. The voting procedure. I'm getting so much excited when I see those first 50% of green color. So the blue color is going up and down, up and down. So I'm not investing 38%, I'm investing 34%, and I may invest in the future 27%. So the numbers are quite not that far from each other, right? Okay, thank you so much. So the next project, the next startup is Pinpod Join from Russia. Pinpod Join? Okay. Okay, so there is video instead of presentation.
Hello, my name is Valery Akimov, and now I'm going to tell you how we can make $17 million for you over steel wire and plastic for 5 years. Why do you need to trust us? Well, it's all about team. Here they are. Iris Rohan has set up an educational project in 6 cities around the country where thousands of children study every year. Rados Blonsky is an industrial designer, founder of the music project Leadmaven. Andrei Gennadievich is an inventor, entrepreneur, and owner of 12 patents in the field of alternative power engineering and construction. Anna Rohan is actually the author of the device you're about to see and also a specialist in cold sales. And me, Valera. I have opened a store of alternative energy sources and increased the turnover up to 3 million rubles in 6 months. And also I'm a director of the branch office of the project Legacy 21 in Kazan. And now we're actually making a show about our team and our biggest goal for 30 years ahead, the head sound. So what is the problem? We can no longer imagine our life without using a device. We watch the movies, we shoot the videos, we play the video games, we spend our days staring at the monitors with our heads tilted down, and of course it puts a lot of pressure on our neck and shoulders, causing a very early stage of osteochondrosis. But now we have a solution, and this solution is called Pinpod, a special device that holds your smartphone or whatever you use to stay online and puts the pressure off your shoulders and neck. Easily adjustable. It can be fixed onto many different surfaces, and it is very comfortable, and no doubt that it's going to be a huge hit among the Periscope users. Our B2B and B2C market is very wide. This includes travelers, barbershops, airplanes, trains, buses, hostels, hospitals, and the bloggers, or those who think of themselves as bloggers, and the Pokemon Go twisted. And by the way, this game now has over than 200 million users. And what have they created so far to better their hunting for imaginary creatures? This wacky shit. Well, let's talk about our competitors. A large dropper that is clumsy and uncomfortable. The fishing rod that sticks out of your head. And the snake-like something that is supposed to be wrapped around your neck, causing a lot of discomfort. Well, let's be honest, this is a real trash.
If you don't mind, I would ask you to stop the video and just like to sum up, about your project, because the video is going to be 2 minutes longer. Okay, So, any questions to the startup? Okay, there is a question.
To be first. Who's the first there?
The first person over there.
Thank you for your presentation. May I ask you if you have one model of the project with you, please? Thank you.
You can try it on. How often do you use it? Okay. Как часто ты это используешь? So I use the pin pod when I watch films or video blogs. Okay. And you can even watch the concerts and hug your friends. Okay. So there is another question. Yeah, the question is going to be in Russian.
Себестоимость сколько? Как быстро китайцы сделают то же самое и начнут продавать на Алиэкспрессе? Как будете выживать? Тут просто может получиться замкнутый круг. Делать вы, скорее всего, это будете в Китае, потому что там дешевле всего. Они, собственно, по вашим матрицам также будут снижать стоимость. То есть вот как с этим-то быть? Подумайте, потому что это ключевая проблема проекта. Понятно, что продукт идиотский, но массовый потенциально. Вот, как бы селфи-палка тоже такая вещь. Но вот как бороться с тем, что вас продублируют вот так вот буквально, это я даже не знаю.
So the question was about the cost of the product and how you're going to keep up with the Chinese, those who are producing these things like in a very cheap price. Another question? No? Okay. Yeah, another question.
Where I can get one? That's it. Where can buy it?
So there is a website.
Right.
Okay, thanks. So then can I ask you to take the remotes and to vote whether you would support this startup? Okay, it seems like no, it doesn't seem like. Okay, 43% who wouldn't invest in your project, 31% that may invest in the future, and 25% about to invest into your project. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so the next startup is eTrash to Cash from Nigeria. Please welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Abdullah. I'm coming from Nigeria. I am going to present a project, eTrash to Cash. Our vision is to create a zero-waste society in Nigeria where wastes are resources through empowerment of low-income individuals and households in the country. There are two major problems. Greater than 10,000 metric tons of waste is being generated daily, in major cities in Nigeria, including Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Kaduna. Less than 38% of it is recollected, while 84% of such waste has potentiality to be reused. This is in a country whose more than 80 million citizens live on less than $1 per day. Trash to Cash is providing a platform whereby low-income earning individuals and households in the country could earn in exchange for their everyday waste, be it plastics, paper, glass, food, etc. Trash to Cash is going to process and is going to make reusable materials from the wastes, e.g., production of organic compost from food waste. Our target market is the smallholder farmer in Nigeria. 82% of all farmers in Nigeria are smallholder farmers, and they lose more than 40% of their farm produce to post-harvest losses or crisis, and they are in high demand of an alternative to chemical fertilizer which could increase their yield. There is a heavy government support recently in Nigeria on agriculture. We're going to face challenges like this organic compost is going to be a new product in the market, and it's locally made organic compost is available. Our revenue streams include selling of organic compost to these smallholder farmers and sale of processed plastic raw materials to local industries. Our competitors, while we give cash incentives directly to low-income earners, our competitors give cash incentives to random scavengers. And we're going to sell processed food waste like organic compost, while our competitors sell unprocessed raw material waste. Our key success factors include primary segregation, efficient and cost-effective waste collection and transportation, continuous flow and supply of waste. This is our team. I'm the Chief Executive Officer. I have a BSc Biochemistry from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. I have about 3 years of experience in waste management. My first successful startup has recycled and collected more than 10,000 tons of plastic waste in Bauchi State in Nigeria. This is our marketing and sales manager. She has a BSc in urban and regional planning, and Muhammad Chiroma produces and manages the platform where we collect and record the waste. We have web
can you sum up?
application and a mobile app is in progress. We have 500 people registered, and we collect 2,500 units of plastic waste weekly. We require about $20,000 in exchange for 15% shares. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Questions, comments? Yeah.
Thank you. I don't get why do you need some mobile application or platform if you speak that in total people in your country are rather poor and they, I think, don't have smartphones for using that application. What is the purpose?
Yeah, we want to use a web or mobile app to manage bulk records.
It's for your
it's for
employees,
both. It's for the users and us. It's going to help us to manage the collection records, which is going to be bulky because we are going to reach thousands of households, like 10,000 maybe in the next 2 or 3 years. They're going to earn just cash incentives via mobile bank accounts. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay, more questions? The one here and the other one will be to Adini.
Thank you. Who are your competitors in the Nigerian market?
We have recyclers and we have recycle points. And they are based in Lagos and we are based in the northern part of Nigeria.
What is the difference between your product and theirs?
In terms of distance?
No, the difference between your product and theirs.
The difference in the product.
Okay, we are going to make processed waste raw materials. Like we're going to process plastic waste into raw material chips, which can be used to make end products. And my competitors, they sell the raw waste. And we're going to make organic compost from food waste. That's the major difference.
And how much money are you raising and what do you need it for?
We need about $25,000 to purchase these 20 cargo bicycles set up a material recovery facility, organic waste converter, and crusher and pelletizer.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the last question.
So this is actually not really a question. It's more or less like a comment. So just wanted to jump in. I think I love this project. I think it's a very wonderful thing that you're doing. And I just wanted to correct something about smartphone usage in Nigeria. So actually, Nigeria has the largest telecoms market in Africa and possibly the fastest growing telecoms market in the world. So there are smartphones, actually, lots of smartphones. Smartphone usage in Nigeria is very, very high. So I think mobile application would be very much in place. And I think in terms of the market, in terms of the target market, I think it's very good that they're targeting the northern part of the country, partly because We Cyclers, which is the biggest name in the Nigerian market, funded by MIT and lots of Silicon Valley people. It's majorly based in Lagos, and it's sort of more or less like a middle income class kind of market. So, and what I think he's doing is sort of more focused on people who are in the rural areas and would benefit the farmers. So, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's see the voting procedure. Are you ready to invest? 1, yes. 2, may invest in future. 3, 1, no, I'm not investing. 2, I may invest. 3, I'm investing. Wow. Woo. This is the highest percentage of yes so far. So 68%. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, and the next project I'm inviting on the stage is Organigo from Pakistan. Please welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ali, I'm from Pakistan, and I'll be talking to you about Organigo. So before I go on and start telling you about what all of this is about, it's important for you to understand the agro-produce market in Pakistan, because this product particularly pertains to that. Pakistan as an economy is based entirely, predominantly upon agriculture, and it's unfortunate that the farmers upon whom this economy is based upon are some of the poorest people in the world. The reason for that is that the customer, despite paying a price premium, is not able to get that premium absorbed at the farmer end, because there's a tier of middlemen that absorb this price premium, and this is exactly what Organigo aims to eradicate entirely. What Organigo aims to do, and the vision for Organigo is, I'm not going to go into a PowerPoint if you're waiting for me to change the slide, because that's really not how it's going to go. The vision for Organigo is particularly to create an equitable an ecosystem for equitable distribution of value in the agro-produce supply chain of Pakistan. And I'll tell you how we're going to do that. So right now, what happens particularly is that the farmer grows the produce, a middleman buys it, he takes it to a market, the wholesale market, second middleman buys it, he takes it to the second wholesale market from where the shopkeeper buys it, and it goes to the market. As a farmer, part-time farmer myself, I grow onions at 12 rupees a kilogram, which sell in the market for 50 rupees a kilogram. So the problem is that the farmer essentially gets 12 rupees a kilogram, while the customer pays 50 rupees a kilogram. The customer and the farmer at both ends of the supply chain are at an inherent disadvantage, and that is what we particularly want to eradicate. And what we're going to do is we're going to establish a supply chain in the first phase directly from the farm to the market. What essentially we hope to do is we hope to establish a warehousing facility close to the city and get the farmer to sell their goods to us. How are we going to do that? The farmer, due to lack of financial affluence, goes to the middleman to get some financing. Middlemen in the agricultural setup of Pakistan also act as ad hoc financial entities, and they give these guys loans. But essentially what really happens is that with the loans, when the loans are about to be paid off, the middlemen take the crops instead of the loan money. So the farmer remains in a perpetual cycle of poverty. And we, as an organization that's focused primarily towards both ends of the supply chain, we would want that farmer to come out of that perpetual cycle of poverty. And that's why we want to go up to the farmer. And the investment that we're going to make is we're going to pay him the money, and we're going to upfront get the produce from the farmer and bring it to a warehouse. We're going to divide that into 3 different categories. The best category of the produce is going to be sold to the highest paying consumers, the consumers who are ready to pay a price premium. for quality goods. The second tier goes into the mainstream Pakistani agri-produce market. And the third tier, the lowest quality goods, go to the manufacturing units within Pakistan. So essentially, at this point of time, what we are looking to do is we're looking to establish a facility to get all of this done. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties for all of the financing that we're going to need. I'll be happy to talk to you more about that if you have questions. And in the long run, we hope to digitize this entire chain with the help of some cellular operators in Pakistan. We hope to have set up a digital platform where this entire mechanism that we're planning to do physically can be done on a digital platform with the help of some telecommunication, mobile financial services, microfinance banks, and microinsurance companies. I thank you for your time. Please, if you have questions.
Thank you. Questions, comments? No. Then time to vote. Can I ask you to take the remotes and to vote? Okay, question. Please welcome.
The presentation was quite okay, and I ask you, could you describe, like, in the simplest way, what you're doing?
Okay, so in the simplest way, what we're doing is, in a nutshell, instead of the produce going to a series of middlemen before going to the consumer, we're going to eradicate all of that. So the one entity gets the produce, sorts it out, does the quality check, and goes to the customer. That's all that's going to do. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
I was hoping you would have a question.
Okay. Adani? No? Yeah? There is one.
I can be just standing here, and that's it. It'll be enough.
So please, a question or comment.
Yeah. Again, I think I sort of support what he said from in terms of what exactly the product is doing. I think my question is this: you operate in a very, very, in my understanding, very, very low margin market. So the margin are really very strict in terms of what the farmers are actually making. So that's what you want to do. You want to improve margins for these farmers, right?
If you're calling zero margins, low margins, then yes, the farmer does not have a margin at this point of time.
So you actually think the farmer does not have any margin at all? Okay, you're a farmer and you know that the farmer doesn't have a margin. So now you want to give the farmer some margin, and you also want to take from that margin.
I don't want to take from that margin.
You just want to give it to him entirely and not make any money.
So if you have time after this presentation, I'm going to sit down with you and go into the nitty-gritties. The premium that you're going to charge for the best quality produce is going to go directly to the farmer, directly and indirectly. Directly, we're going to give some price premium to the farmer. And indirectly, we're going to have social programs in those regions to get the farmer out of the perpetual cycle of poverty. Just to give you an example, this perpetual cycle of poverty works, the farmer does not have health facility, right? So a lot of the premium that we're going to charge, we're going to start building something for a better health.
I get it. Just let me quickly skip my question to the last part. The last part of that question is, are you going to be marketing this to people who are already being they have like sort of banking services already in place? If no, what is, so what I mean is, okay, so you're working with bunch of farmers, right? All of them operating different farms and blah, 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 right? And the premium is going back to them directly. What is exactly the system that is controlling that? Are you having a banking application? Are you working with a bank? How are you doing? So like something like an M-Pesa or some sort of mobile money or something like that. That is where you're going.
Exactly. So I'll tell you what. First off, you said Nigeria is the world's fastest growing mobile market. That's not true. Pakistan is number one. Number two, in the long run, we're hoping to digitize this entire platform. In the first phase, of course, it's going to be on an ad hoc basis with financial entities that are official being used. However, in the long run, we hope to involve the telecom operators in Pakistan. And all of these telecom operators have mobile financial services links with them right now. Okay. I didn't want to go into the nitty-gritty on the presentation because I just said
okay, good. Thank you.
But we're going to use that to get this process.
Thank you so much. So, let's vote. So, 40%, I'm not investing. I'm investing 34%, and I may invest in the future 24%. So thank you for the feedback, guys. And the last project for today, but not the least one, that's spoon cover from Kazan.
Hi everyone, I represent Spooncover and we're making a really cool thing. So, what's the first thing you see when you go to a Facebook page or a VK page? An image on top. That's a static image. It's not frequently updated, it's not fun, I think it's a waste of space. What we do is that we infuse this space with cool dynamic data. Look at what we did for Annapolis. These banners change according to the weather outside. We actually display the weather forecast and faces of subscribers. For example, for the last one who made a comment, people are actually willing to pay for it, pay good money. Any page administrator can benefit from our project. Because they want customers, they want more customers. They want more subscribers. They want to interact with their subscribers. And the subscribers want to see their faces on top of the page. That's great, and administrators are paying for it. The market is really huge. It's almost equal to the number of pages. What's the good thing about this market is that it's really fresh. This thing only started appearing only a couple of months ago. And so far, there are a number of competitors. We're not the only ones doing this. But there's no leader. They're all doing pretty much the same thing. The product that we are making is a builder for all page administrators to come and create a dynamic banner. We want to stand out from the crowd by ensuring that we have the most features, and by ensuring that the banners that people create are more beautiful by having tons of predefined beautiful designs, just like Canva does. They're really great at this, and we want to be just like them in our own domain. We're going to be making money by these two ways. The first one is a typical freemium subscription, and the second one is if a person wants something special, here we are. I'm so confident saying this because I've seen that. I've seen the demand when we rolled out our first prototype 2 months ago. We actually, after a certain period of time, had to stop taking orders because we had so many incoming. We couldn't handle it with our prototype, so we decided to make go forward and make the builder that you've seen already. That's the question that you probably no one answered. Well, the market is full of people who are almost throwing money at us. So it's a project, it's a quick money maker. And the team, we got what it takes. We made the prototype, we know ins and outs, we know how to make things right. The only thing that we lack is, that's us. The only thing that we lack is a little gas for our car to make the best product ever and to leave our competitors long behind. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? Yes, please. The first one, then it goes to Mozamel.
So how many clients did you already have? And
our first product
what is the average paying revenue per customer?
Our first prototype had 27 clients, but after that, we had to stop taking orders. Well, speaking of subscription model, we think that a price of $10 to $15 for all features is pretty justifiable. Of course, it's a matter of competition with our rivals. We'll work on that.
Next question.
Hi. I love your passion, the way you presented the project. My question is that, for example, if I'm a normal Facebook business page user, I just come to you and I say I want this on my page. How does it work? Using the Facebook API or?
Yeah, exactly. We only need a token that allows us to push images to your page, and here we are. So we'll update the page for you, depending on the features you request, automatically.
Thanks.
can you make a video for Facebook business pages? Because as I know, 2 weeks ago, they roll out a feature to put a video on background of the page. Can you give this opportunity in your service?
The video, I don't think it, well...
You can look for, I think, Mercedes-Benz official page. They have video, Facebook page of Mercedes-Benz. They have video on the background.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but honestly, video
I mean, can you generate some video, for example, slideshow or another thing from your widget? So
yeah, sure, absolutely. It's the only thing that's limiting is the time it takes to upload the image and to generate it. So on VK, we could update the image once per 2 to 3 seconds, which is enough for. It's more than enough for basic uses. If you want a video, please upload the video.
Okay,
if you want images.
Thank you so much. And there was the hand, and it's going to be the last question because we're running out of time.
Please, there are people on.
All right. Great presentation. I don't know if this is a bit obvious, but can Facebook or VK decide to implement this and make it free for anybody to, maybe in the near future? Can they make it a part of the...
Yeah, I don't think that's in their interest because they provided the API and they're actually working on improving that API, which allows us to get more data from groups and to upload these images. You know what? Actually, that's an exit strategy. If we become huge and well respected, we can sell ourselves, well, not ourselves, but sell the product to VK and...
All right, but also anybody else can do it as well, right?
All of us want, right?
Can anybody do that?
Do what?
What you're doing.
Yeah, well.
I'm saying, can anybody create that service? Can I, if I wanted to create something like that to compete with you, could I easily do it?
Well, you can, but we got more experience. We know how to make it. Look at us, winning hackathons like for breakfast.
Okay,
seriously.
Thank you so much.
We got a history.
So let's see the voting results. Can I ask you to vote?
Make it 40.
Basically, the results 15 people I'm not investing, 16 people I'm investing, and 12 people I may invest in the future. So thank you very much for the feedback.
You're welcome.
So it's been a long day with all the pitch sessions and the presentations, and I just want to say thank you all and congratulate you on final presentations of your startups. So what's going to happen now? You're going to have the break till 6 o'clock. From 6 till 7, you're going to have dinner. And at 7, we're meeting back here in the plenary room for the feedback session. As for the selection committee, so right now you're going to have the break and then the dinner. So please, at this time, can you stay in the plenary like during the break? And everyone else can ask you to leave the plenary because the selection committee is going to discuss.